Welcome to my showcase for my 205 CDE website. For this website, I decided to base it around a fictitious design company called Griffin Design. As it was a design company, I needed to focus heavily on the layout of the website as it needed to be clean and concise to get across the messages and the core values of the business. The main layout of the website is the homepage, as you see in front of you, with an about section, where it is a bit more about the business and some members of staff, as well as a contact form and a login system for customers to use. The contact form and the login system will be discussed in more detail later on in the video. To begin with, let's focus on design. When designing the site, I really wanted to keep it nice and clean to focus on the main points of the business. So as you see on the homepage, there are these 3 blue circles. Each one of these represents the core value of the business: fast, friendly and flexible. When designing these, I used bootstrap rows and columns to make sure they aligned perfectly, and that when the window was rescaled, such as this, they also decided to align vertically instead of horizontally. When designing the About Us page for the website, I really wanted to use the big bootstrap block quote, as you see here, that stands out in the middle of the chunk of text. One of the reasons why I wanted to do this was to avoid having large paragraphs of text on the website, as this can make it difficult for customers to read and understand all of the information that is being presented to them. I then used the same rows and column system as I used on the homepage for the blue circles to present each of the members of staff in their circle images with their titles underneath and a description of their jobs. One of the main features of the website is a working contact form that allows for users to contact the business about any inquiries they may have. To show you how this form works, I'd like to fill it in and send off an email. So put my name in, Chrome will automatically put my email, put my subject as a business question, and my message can just be, hello, this is a message. So if you'd like to send that, you'll see we'll get a message saying thank you, we'll be in contact shortly, and will take us back to the home page. So now let's have a look at the code that goes on behind the screen to see the email. So as you see, we have our routing here for contact, which uses the methods get and post. It then says if it's post, meaning the form has been submitted, come down here. So it sends the messages here. So it says the message with the subject field from the form, the sender as the email we'd like, and the email as mine. This is for the admin message. There's another one down here. It says sender's Griffin Design, and the recipient is the person who filled in the form. This lets us send 2 different emails to each person, meaning they get the correct information. So hopefully the emails have arrived, and we pop over to the emails. So as you see here, we've got on the left, we have, this is the admin email, and it says there's been a new message. Hello, this is a message from Jack Tidbury at mrtidbury@gmail.com. And if we go over to this address, which is on the right, we see we've got an email as well, and it thanks us for our recent inquiry, and it says we aim to contact you in 24 hours. So this is handled by this piece of code here, and the admin email is handled by the code up here. Another feature of the site is a sign-up system that users can use to sign up and log into the site. By doing this, it gives them a number of personalised benefits, which we'll discuss later. But first, let's sign up to the site. So let's pop my details in and a password. Let's create an account. This takes me back to the home page, except with a few differences. The first one being a custom welcome message at the top. You see it says my name up here. Another one is up in the top right. It now says the email address to confirm that we're logged in, as well as an option to log out in place of the sign up and sign out buttons at the top. We also get access to our custom profile, which as you see here is mainly a placeholder at the moment, and it displays all of the information that is currently held about the customer, as well as the option for them to remove their account if they so wanted. So let's go ahead and do that. Let's remove the account, let's delete it from the database, and now if we try and log in with the same details, you see Chrome's remembered it, it will say it's invalid because they've been removed from the system. So if we pop over and see the database that's handling this, we've got the structure of the database is as so. So you've got all the email that's provided. All the data that's provided from the form is stored here, along with a unique user ID that auto increments to stop repetition and make it a primary key. This is important for normalization of the database. So as you see down here, this is all of the data that's currently stored in the database, and the passwords are stored as salted password hashes. This is much more secure than storing in plain text, as storing in plain text can be easily deciphered and is a very bad and non-secure thing to do. So to get this database working, there's a class of user created in models.py which sets out the overall layout of the SQL table. This is for SQL Alchemy to really understand and be able to insert data properly. For the login and the sign up, there's also separate functions that set the password hash, as you see here in set password, and check the password hash against the hash of the password that's currently stored in the database. For the last part of this video, I'm just going to talk through the main Python file and all of the routing and different setups that were needed to get the website working as intended. So to begin with, all it is installing and importing all of the different modules that we're going to need to make the website. This includes importing all the forms from forms.py and the user class from models.py. We then initialize the database and SQL Alchemy, as well as set up the mail server to use the correct ports and servers. Scrolling down, we can see the index and about are very similar to many routings, just a basic render template with past user variables that are gained by querying the database using the email cookie that we set when the user logs in. There's then a error 404 handler that returns a custom error page if the user happens to encounter the error on our site. Another interesting one is the remove account function, as shown earlier, that when the user clicks the button, it triggers the remove account function, which selects the user again by using the session cookie. It then deletes the user, pops the cookie from the session so there's no longer logged in, and then commits the changes. This successfully removes the account from the database. As for the profile, it checks to see if email is in session. What this does really is just basically check if the user's logged in, because when they're logged in, we create the cookie, and if it hasn't got the cookie, then they're not classed as being logged in. If the cookie's not found, it returns them to the login page. It then gets the user by querying the database. It sets the variables, passes them through to the profile here, and then it's displayed correctly as per the template. And that's about everything for this video.